Hello and welcome back to Euro Transfer Talk, where we assemble once again to round up the latest rumours and gossip surrounding the continent's best players. Remember to leave your thoughts about which of these moves is most likely to happen, spark some debate and have some fun in the comments. Let's get started. We start with a rumour that has taken us by surprise here at Football Daily. Real Madrid are supposedly considering a move for Chelsea's Timo Werner. The German international, capped 53 times by his country, has struggled to replicate his excellent RB Leipzig form since moving to West London in a €56 million move in June 2020. With his goals per game record dropping from 0.7 in his final two campaigns in East Germany to just 0.3 in England. Clearly talented, as shown by the fact he has netted over 130 career goals by the age of 26 for Stuttgart, Leipzig and Chelsea, and netted a further 24 for Die Mannschaft since his 2017 debut, playing in Tuchel's fairly slow, methodical, possession-based system has limited the space that Werner thrives in. But this hasn't seemed to put off Real Madrid, with Marca reporting that Los Blancos are considering making a move for the frontman, who is reportedly available for just €35 million. There is also some speculation that this could be an initial loan with an option to buy in 2023, which would definitely suit Real Madrid. They'd have a significantly better backup striker to Benzema than Mariano Diaz for just 1 year, and if it didn't work out, Werner could always return to Stamford Bridge. From a Chelsea perspective, it's a little more puzzling though. They've already approved Romelu Lukaku's loan back to Inter Milan for the season, so can they really afford to offload another forward, even if it is for this campaign only? We really don't think so, especially given the investment Man City and Liverpool have put into Haaland and Nunez respectively. The lure of Real Madrid might be too difficult for Werner to ignore, especially given he only started 15 league games last term. But there has been some speculation in Spain that Werner might not be keen on swapping a backup role at Chelsea for a backup role at Real Madrid. Los Blancos fans, we want to hear from you though. Do you want to sign Werner, and if not, which forward would you like to target before the window slams shut? Let us know down below. Next up we head to Spain and Barcelona, where they are continuing their summer revamp. Not satisfied with the arrivals of Lewandowski, Rafinha, Koundé, Kessie and Christensen, Xavi has reportedly turned his attention to the fullbacks, which have long been identified as the areas that need most attention by Football Daily. Tuchel has made it clear that he does not want club captain Azpilicueta to leave Stamford Bridge this summer, but The Athletic have reported that the club are more relaxed about Marcos Alonso's potential departure, given the fact Chilwell is back fit and Emerson can cover there. According to Sport though, the Blaugrana are making plans in the event that Chelsea don't allow either of them to leave, which is a possibility given they are said to be angry at having missed out on Koundé and Rafinha. One of Barcelona's rumoured alternatives is RB Leipzig left-back Angelino, who is said to be keen on a return to his native Spain, having left for former club Man City in 2013. This move does seem like it could be possible, with Leipzig having confirmed the signing of former Hoffenheim left-back David Raum last weekend for a €26 million fee. Would Angelino be a good signing for Barcelona though? In our opinion, absolutely. Jordi Alba might be continuing to defy Father Time with some excellent performances last term, but at 33 he's not going to go on forever. Signing the 25-year-old Angelino, who has played 100 games for the East Germans in the last 3 years, rather than Alonso, who turns 32 in December, makes far more sense. What would Angelino bring to the table? Well, primarily the former PSV man is an attacking player, with his 0.34 assists per game last term ranking in the top 2% of fullbacks in Europe. He picks up great positions and has the pace and energy to continue bombing up and down that left flank all game, but his defensive output is less than satisfactory, with his tackles, interceptions and aerials won ranking in the bottom 20% of players in his position. With the player keen on a move and Leipzig reportedly open to it even on loan, we think this would be a smart piece of business by the Blaugrana. He's certainly a much better fit for the club going forward than Alonso. Barca fans, do you have any worries though about this move? You know what to do. We take a trip back to the UK now, and specifically to Manchester, where Erik ten Hag is having to seriously consider alternatives to Cristiano Ronaldo, with the Portuguese still dead set on leaving Old Trafford this summer. The club still maintain that the 37-year-old is not for sale, but there is no doubt that internally they'll be considering options, because they certainly won't sell him without a replacement already at the club. The Daily Mail are reporting that the two main names on the club's shortlist are Stuttgart's Sasa Kalajdzic and RB Salzburg's Benjamin Sesko, with the article claiming that the 6'7" Austrian could be available for just over €20 million, while Sesko's agent supposedly held talks with United last week. The Red Devils have been linked with a move for Ajax's Antony for weeks now, but are balking at the Amsterdam club's €95 million valuation. Given the fact Sancho and Elanga can play off the right, it probably makes more sense to target a natural striker, hence the interest in these two young number 9s. Who is the better option though? Well, we have our reservations about both, to be honest. 25-year-old Koladzic joined Stuttgart in 2019 and has since scored 24 goals in 57 games for the club. But he doesn't seem like a tailor-made fit for United's dynamic looking forward options, and having missed 18 games last season with injury, another season of Bundesliga football might be better for his development than a move to one of the most scrutinised clubs in world football. As for Sesko's performances in pre-season and games against the likes of Liverpool suggest he has all the ingredients to be a star. But the fact remains that he has only ever played 41 games for Salzburg in the Austrian Bundesliga, with 13 goals a solid but not spectacular return. As ever with a 19-year-old, you risk not pouncing prior to his explosion. But for now, we'd rather see someone like Lyon's Moussa Dembele, who is far more experienced, arrive than either of the two names mooted. Agree with us, or would you rather see these two young stars come in? Leave your thoughts in the comments section. Rome has been the centre of much activity this summer, as Jose Mourinho looks to build on the Giallorossi's Conference League triumph by improving on the club's 6th place finish from last term. So far he has managed to recruit Matic, Svilar Selic and the much talked about Paulo Dybala. But he isn't done there. As reported over the last few weeks, the club are working on a deal to bring former Liverpool midfielder Gini Wijnaldum to the club on loan from PSG, with that deal potentially being completed before this video goes live. And according to CalcioMercato.com, he'll be joined in Rome by former Torino forward Andrea Belotti, who ended his 7-year association with the Turin-based club earlier this summer. Eldor Shomurodov is expected to join Bologna on loan, freeing up space for Belotti to arrive. The article claims that the 28-year-old will be offered a 2-year deal worth €2.8 million net per season, with an option for a third. Valencia and Villarreal are also interested in signing the 44-capped Italian, but the former Palermo man is keen to remain in Serie A, a league in which he has scored 116 goals over the last 8 seasons. What do we think of this deal? In our opinion, it's very smart. With Roma back in the Europa League next season, they needed to improve their squad depth, with Tammy featuring in all but one league game and 53 games in all competitions last term. Belotti is easily good enough to contribute to Roma. 21-22 was the first campaign in which he hasn't scored 10 league goals in the last 7 seasons, with his 0.5 expected goals per 90 not far off Tammy's 0.6. As a free signing, we are a big fan of this. Well done, Jose.
And finally, we bring you the latest news surrounding two of the Premier League's biggest clubs, Man City and Chelsea. Zinchenko's move to Arsenal has forced Man City into the market for a left-back, and that man had appeared to be Marc Cucurella. The citizens made an approach for the Spaniard last week and were quoted £50 million from Brighton, with the Seagulls desperate to keep hold of their Player of the Year from 21-22, having already lost Yves Bissouma to Spurs. City dug their heels in and refused to meet that price, whilst Brighton didn't relent even after the former Barca fullback handed in a transfer request. But now we can reveal that Chelsea have entered the race, first broken by the Athletic's David Ornstein, who claimed they were in talks with Brighton yesterday and were willing to meet their asking price. And that was backed up by Fabrizio Romano, who tweeted this morning that a full agreement had been reached between the club and Cucurella on personal terms, and the two sides were expected to re-enter negotiations today on the final fee, meaning that this deal could have been completed before this video goes live. What do we make of this deal? Well, Cucurella is an excellent player who shone last season, but it does seem like a slightly strange move all round. We understand Brighton holding out for their asking price, but from Cucurella's perspective, we'd much rather have joined the winners of 4 of the last 5 Premier League titles, who have an opening in my position, than Chelsea, who have one of England's best left-backs in his way. Yes, he'd be competing with the brilliant João Cancelo at City, but with Walker now 32, his minutes on the right are likely to diminish year on year, meaning Cucurella could be first choice in the best side in the country before too long. Lots of Chelsea fans have correctly pointed out that Cucurella can play at left-sided centre-back, in Tuchel's back 5, but it's certainly not his best position. And with Koulibaly having played on the left of Napoli's defence for years, that position seems tailor-made for the Senegalese, further confusing this deal. Are we being harsh, or does it seem that Chelsea's slightly haphazard approach to this window is continuing with this deal? One thing's for sure, this surely spells the end for Marcos Alonso at Stamford Bridge, who will surely seal his aforementioned move to Barcelona. So guys, that was Euro transfer talk for another week. What do you think of Cucurella's move to Chelsea? Are we being a little harsh? Let me know in the comments down below. If you've enjoyed this video, please don't forget to subscribe to Euro Football Daily and click like on this video, and I'll catch you next time.